Today we're going to be taking a look at 7 Section 6 Yi Sang. He's at level 30, Uptide Tier 3. His stats are 167 for health, so he's on the slightly tankier side, 5 to 8 for speed, so on the faster end of the spectrum for sure, 35 for his defense. His resistances are normal to slash, ineffective to pierce, and fatal to blunt. His first skill is Fleche, or Fletch, or however you pronounce this. It's a base of 4 with plus 6 on 1 coin, so you can go up to 10. On heads hit, inflict 2 rupture. His skill 2 is Riposte, base skill of 5 with plus 2 potential with 2 coins, so you can go up to 9. On clash win, inflict 3 paralyzed next turn. And his second hit will be on hit, inflict 1 fragile next turn. His third skill is Moulinet, or Moulinet, however you pronounce this. It's a base of 5 with plus 3 with 3 coins, so it can go up to 14. And on the first hit, it is plus 1 to count of effect applied by the last coin. And then second hit is the same thing. And third hit is on hit, inflict pierce fragility next turn. I actually don't know what the skill 1, skill 2 means here, so you guys have to let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm assuming this is just saying that these coins will be plus 1 for the first hit, so you could go up to 4, and then plus another one on 4, so you could go up to 5. So it's plus 3, 4, 5, 5. I don't know if that's how that works, so you guys let me know. His defense is guard, so nothing fancy. Passive, keen observation. With 4 gluttony in a clash, reduce the opponent's clash power by gluttony resonance by 4. So essentially you're going to be minusing the clash power of the opponent by 1 if you get this used, but more often than not, pretty hard to chain 4 gluttonies together. Support Analytic Eye. 1 ally with the highest max HP gains plus 1 clash power in a clash. This one can be pretty useful, but the only issue is, once again, 4 gluttony. So let's take him into the dungeon and see how he performs against all the other characters. Alright, let's see how he performs. I will say that this Yi Sang is a little bit confusing in the sense that he inflicts Pierce Fragility on his third skill, but his third skill is a blunt skill, but for whatever reason it inflicts Pierce Fragility. His skill 1 and skill 2 is Pierce, but his skill 3 is Blunt, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, I kind of see it from a balancing perspective that you want to have your units to be a little bit more well-rounded, so that way if they come across a pierce resistant unit, they're not going to be completely useless. With that being said though, I do feel like the 7 section units, if they're going to do slash pierce or slash fragility, it should all be slash fragility. And if they do Pierce Fragility, all their skills should be Pierce. In this battle, it looks like our Yi Sang was able to get 2 skill slots open, so we will see just how much damage he can do compared to the rest of the crew. In this instance, we're not going to be trying to make it as equal as possible. We are just going to see, because he can go fast, if he can still output more damage than all these other characters here. We are running a team of 3-star N-Corp Faust, 3-star N-Corp Mersault, 2-star Kurokawa Onglu, as well as 3-star R-Rabbit Heathcliff. These are obviously your staple strong units, so we're going to see how it stacks up against this character. We do have a few Pierce units with Heathcliff, Faust, and also Mersault on the team, so we'll see if this makes any difference. Most likely it doesn't really, especially if it's a human battle, since you can't really focus down a unit. I will say though, so far, Yi Sang looking like he's doing some decent damage, all things considered. So we'll let this play out and see what happens. His riposte is decent, and we'll see how Moulier works. Plus 3, 11, 11, 11. Interesting. So it was 5 plus 3, which is 8, plus another 3, which is 11. So it doesn't add clash power to the coin, so I'm not too sure what his on hit 1 and 2 means. But yeah, let me know what those skills mean, since I am kind of clueless with that. However, with that being said though, the stage should be done relatively quickly, so we're just going to do as much damage as possible. I will say that overall, he is fast. this version of Yi Sang is really fast, so he can get off a ton of attacks and can clash with the enemies. The only issue is his coin flip. It's kind of terrible. His first skill and second skill only has a single coin flip on it. It can get pretty high, but more often than not, if he clashes with somebody with multiple coin flips, most likely he's going to lose. If it's someone with a higher coin flip, maybe a little bit better. So let's take a quick look at the damage charts. As usual, Faust is on top, and the damage charts get completely blown out of proportion because we used a support unit. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Overall though, what I will say is that Yi Sang 3-star is in a little bit of a weird spot. I would rate him more along the lines of B tier, C tier, more closer to B. His kit's a little bit confusing because his first skill inflicts rupture, and his third skill can inflict pierce fragility, but his third skill is a blunt skill, which is a little bit weird. A character like this should honestly be all pierce, but I would say in terms of character strength, he would belong in content where you would have to make it so that the boss that you fight is a DPS check that would require pierce fragility to make sense. I would say though, he can definitely synergize pretty well with Faust, Mersault, Heathcliff, and Ishmael because these are units that use quite a lot of pierce skills. With that being said though, I will say that he doesn't really quite belong anywhere at the moment, since he is a character that wants to be able to synergize with other pierce units, but with the content that's available right now, there isn't anything that would really make sense for him. Because he's very fast, he can apply those fragility debuffs early on to make it have use, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. With that being said though, he is one of the few characters that can inflict paralyze that activates the next turn. So he's one of the few characters where paralyze isn't useless because it doesn't go away at the end of the turn, instead it applies next turn, so that way if you're fighting a boss, he can inflict meaningful debuff for Clash of Coins with the paralyze. However, outside of that though, there isn't really much of a use for him. As usual, you guys, let me know what you think of this character and whether or not you use him on your roster. I'll say that he's a solid unit, not quite up there though. He ranks very solid at low B tier, maybe super high C tier. Overall, not a lot of content that you can really put him in because, truthfully speaking, you can use any character to clear content, but if you have strong characters like Faust, Mersault, Ryoshu, Honglu, Heathcliff, at least experience of them, you're already eating pretty good. As usual, let me know what you guys think about this character. I think he's okay, not the best, not the worst. Definitely better than a lot of the other 2-star units out there, but compared to say something like Honglu or even Ishmael, doesn't really stack up too well against other characters such as 2-star Otis, 2-star Rodion, all those other characters. I can see him being a little bit better. As usual, I stream on Twitch Monday to Friday, and I have a Discord community where we talk about all things Limbus as well as other gacha games. As usual, John Panio signing out. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.